Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? I just need to confirm that I'm audible.
Good afternoon, we can hear you.
All right. Good afternoon, our facilitator for today. And just a quick note before we round up our program, because officially we'll be ending the program today. So I welcome everyone to today's session, and I'm really excited to have you all here today. I want to specially welcome to those that are joining us because some people are joining us actually for the first time because of the publicity of today's session. All right. And as well, I say thank you to the consistent learners who have been with us throughout the journey. Today is a very special session because it marks the final class of the Erewash Borough Council sponsored digital and data literacy program. Over the past weeks, we have covered a lot from digital awareness to Excel to data analysis to SQL, Power BI, and more. And I must say that it has been an incredible journey, seeing everyone grow, engage, and build confidence in digital skills. So, first of all, I would want to say a big thank you to Erewash Borough Council for sponsoring this impactful program and making it accessible to the community. And now to wrap it up, this program is actually going to end in a powerful way because we have something very special for you today. We are dividing, we are entering the realm of Power Apps, Microsoft Power Apps, and one of the most valuable tools in today's digital world, especially for building businesses, business solutions. And without heavy coding, you would be able to build productive business solutions. And to lead this session today, we have an exceptional facilitator. Today's class will be handled by Mr. Martins. Mr. Martins Adedokun is a high-level Power Apps developer who has worked on building real-world solutions for companies using the Microsoft Power Apps platform. And he brings not just knowledge, but practical industry experience. And I can assure you that you are going to learn a lot from him today. Even myself, I'm going to learn a lot from him today. So, Mr. Martins, I welcome you and I encourage everyone to stay engaged. Ask your questions in the chat, and most importantly, follow along as much as you can. This is not just the end of a program. It's the beginning of your journey into building the real digital solutions. Thank you so much. And shall we start?
Thank you. So I will start by sharing my screen. I would like a nudge if we can all see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, please. And I also want a confirmation once the introduction video starts playing so that I can be sure the audio is playing and then we can all play it.
Yeah, you might need to click share audio as well as when you share your screen so that we can hear the sound.
So after sharing my screen, so is the audio playing?
Hello, everyone.
Yes, can hear clearly.
Digital skills with Microsoft Power Apps. Your tutor is Mr. Martins, a Power Platform engineer based in London. Now, let's talk about Power Apps, also known as how to build an app without crying over code. So imagine this. Your workplace has that one Excel sheet. You know the one? Everyone edits it, nobody owns it, and somehow it breaks every Friday. That's where Power Apps comes in. Power Apps is a tool from Microsoft that lets you build apps without needing to be a hardcore developer. Think of it like building with Lego Movie. But instead of plastic blocks, you're using buttons, forms, and data. You can create apps for things like staff check-ins, inventory tracking, approval workflows, or even a simple request form, all without writing heavy code. Just drag, drop, connect your data, and you're good to go. Now, don't get it twisted. It's called low code, not no brain. You still need logic. You still need to think. But instead of writing 200 lines of code, you're writing simple formulas that actually make sense most of the time. The real magic is how it connects with tools you already use, like SharePoint, Excel, and Teams. So instead of chasing people for updates, your app does the chasing for you. And the best part? You can go from idea to working app in hours, not months. Yes, hours. Your boss will think you're a wizard. Don't correct them. So if you've ever said, there has to be a better way to do this, Power Apps is probably that better way. Start small. Build one app. Break it. Fix it. And before you know it, you're the tech person everyone suddenly depends on. Welcome to Power Apps.
Welcome everyone once again. So today we'll be talking on how we can transform our business ideas into powerful applications without writing a single line of code. Notice the emphasis on the no writing code part. And the main idea of these power apps is to empower anyone to be able to create custom business solutions that streamline workflows and drive innovation. Probably as a business owner, there is a repetitive task that you're always doing. Now you don't need to do it manually anymore. There is something that can do it for you. That's where Power Apps comes in. What are you learning today? First and foremost, I would like to explain how Power Apps works, what it is, where it's used, be it in the council, be it in businesses. We'll learn that today. Also, we'll build a basic application using simple visual tools. There is no coding whatsoever required. And the third thing we're learning today is how to link our application to our data source, because the way it works, the Power Apps needs to be linked to a data source like our Excel, or if anyone here is familiar with SharePoint. So once it's linked, then the application can communicate with the Excel. So if you have 10 items in your Excel sheets, once it's connected to the application, now on the app, you just added a new individual, you should expect by now to have 11 items on the Excel sheet. You can also use the application probably to delete a record. So now you don't need to go into your spreadsheet to do anything manually. Everything will be controlled using the application. Also, how can we use this application on our mobile? Because what's the essence of an application if it cannot work on your tablet, on your phone? Just the real world flexibility. And if you're here, like you want to switch career, after today's section, you should be able to know how everything about Power Application. You should be able to talk about it in an interview. You should be able to talk about it to your employer and how they can use it. And as I said earlier, who are the people that should join this course? First, if you're a job seeker, you want to build valuable digital skills that employers currently are looking for, then you are in the right place. Also, if you are trying to transition into a new role with something practical, something hands-on, you're welcome. Also, if you're a community volunteer or probably a small business owner, and there's a task, probably you have like an entry record that you do every day or weekly. Now you don't need to do that manually anymore. Your Power Application can do that for you. So this course is for you. So this course is designed for residents with little or no technical background. You will notice the way I've been talking about the no coding part, no coding, no experience required, just your problem solving skills. That's what we need today. And this slide is to show you how much you should be expecting, how much you can earn once you are a full-fledged Power Platform developer. So it's on my LinkedIn, I just typed Power Platform, Power Apps, like I'm searching for a job. So it just popped up. The different one, you will notice some of them 2 weeks ago, some of them were yesterday, some of them were the day I was preparing the slide. You can see and the amount varies from one location to another. Because I live in London and the environ, so you notice the amount for London residents is a bit more than someone in Colchester City Council. So the same job description, you might be earning 46 to 48,000 per year, but someone in London with the same job description might be earning 70 to 80K. So it depends. Just for you to know that Power Apps is a fast growing field with real job opportunities. In a year or two, with the new forecast, every organization is required to hire a Power Platform or Power App developer in their organization, because almost every organization use this Microsoft suits. Everybody use Microsoft Word. Most people use Microsoft Excel. So now this Power App will be popular just the same way these other tools are common and used in day-to-day activity. So now let's start building. Let's see how we can position ourselves for this kind of roles in automation, business analysis. And the next slide, I left it blank because there is something I want us to quickly do together. On our screen, can we see a QR code? I would like us to scan the QR code. If you don't want to scan, you can just enter menti.com on a browser or a phone or whatever you're using right now. And the code to join is 68115570. So this, once you start joining from my end, I should be able to see the people joining. I've seen 3 people responded already. I want as more people to respond as possible. Yes, thank you. Somebody said A already. So, Teresa, welcome. I'm happy to have you here with me. I can see everybody responding. We have 5 people. We have Maxwell, welcome. I can see Kami. I can see Josh. Who else is here? Mike. Oh, good. So we have 6 people responded. That's fine. I want to. Oh, okay. Who else is that? Josh, A, Teresa. So now let's move to the next slide. In the next slide, I want to know how comfortable we are with learning new digital tools. So I want you to just click on the one that is more suitable for you. So I have somebody that said they prefer business tools. Okay. Oh, good. So business tools, what else? Do we have anyone very good with AI tools or someone that loves graphic tools so that we know what they want and then we can? Oh, okay. Somebody likes graphic tools, somebody with, okay, this is good. This is very nice. Uh okay, so now I notice the business tools as the highest margin as at now. Okay, that's fine. So now let's move to the next slide. What's your experience with Microsoft package like Excel, Power BI, and Power Apps? So this is ranging from no experience to probably the basic experience. Okay, I have somebody now with intermediate experience. I have another person with advanced experience. So this is nice. So now we know our target audience. Do we have any? Oh, okay. Now 2 basic, none. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. So 5 people, 6 responded. We have 2 basic, 2 intermediates, 1 none, 1 advanced. This is awesome. So this takes us to the next slide. Which category best describe your role? Which category best describe your role? We have somebody in technical IT or data. Do we have anybody in management or team lead? Thank you for the thumbs up. Do we have anybody with customer facing experience? So this will lead us to the type of application we are building today. Okay, we have somebody in the management team lead position. We have somebody customer facing. We have administrative. Wow, okay, we have three people with technical IT experience, two in management. This is amazing. Now this takes us to the last slide. What power app should we build today? Are we building a calculator? Are we building an office form? Are we building an inventory tracker? Are we building a staff signing application? So we'll see which one will lead and then we'll move on from there. Okay. 68 for staff sign in. Wow, it's no further ado. Obviously, today the power application we are building will be staff signing. It apparently just beats the rest. Okay, thank you so much for this session. Let's go back to our slide. Okay, thank you. So now back to our power application introduction. So what is this power app that we've been talking about? I know so many people will be inquisitive to know what this is all about. So what I can say about power app is, especially when it comes to council talking about small businesses, let's say power app is a type of application that we use every day. In our previous slide, when we were doing the opinion poll, remember some people picked staff signing. That's probably what is the most common item. Some people use it for inventory tracker. So example that I have is a tracker, signing forms, anything you are doing that takes input from people. Probably let's say somebody have a meat shop where they sell meat. You know, some people bring the meat, you know, the different vendors to deal with. You can have an application. Once they bring, instead of writing anything down, you just go on your app, click on it. Okay, they brought 5 kg today. This vendor brought 10 kg. Automatically in your application, you can see what is happening. And then today we'll be able to explore a finished uh, Power App that we can identify for our learning practices. So as I said earlier, the Power Application is your no-code solution. So as I said, I will continue laying emphasis on the no-code aspect because we are technically not writing any code today. Then the application, we have an intuitive interface. That means we can design this application with the functionality we want because it's basically just dragging and dropping different elements, different functionalities. And then today we'll connect our application to a data. Remember, in the beginning of this training session, you learned Excel, you learned some other application, you learned AI automation, how to write prompt and everything. So this is where everything come into use. And there are two type of Microsoft Power application that we do. We have the Canvas app and we have the media app. Today we'll deal with the Canvas app because that's basically what we can use for our kind of business. The second one, model driven, is used by big organizations where they have maybe thousands or hundreds of employers. We don't necessarily need to do that. From the slide, you will notice this is talking about your creative freedom. The model driven does not have this creative freedom because once you start a model driven application, it's using the information you supply to build the app for you. You cannot really customize. But for this, we can either start with a blank canvas. We can tell AI to make a canvas for us. This we have total control of what we are doing on this one, and we can tailor this to our own need. We can customize our form, we can customize our button, the screen, we can use it to do anything. So this one is perfect for uniqueness. And building the app, I just wrote these 4 basic steps. Like what is the first thing you want to do to build your app? That was the thing we did on the other slide where we were thinking of the kind of application we want to design. Now we know we want an application that it's used for staff signing in. So that's the defining your scenario. Now we identify that we need the app to do signing in for staff. Then we already know that we will need an Excel spreadsheet that relates to staff signing in, that's where we might have problem, because we probably don't have an Excel sheet prepared for that, but we'll see if we can just make something up so that it will tally with our app. Then the third step is uploading the item or our data to the cloud. The reason why we upload to the cloud is because of the functionality of the app. Because the application is running on real time with the source of data, that's why it's important this item is probably in your OneDrive or on your SharePoint, somewhere where there is internet access, so that it's easy for the app to update, to delete a record, to update a record, and then we can easily generate our app on just a click of a button. We can have multiple screens, we can do a lot. We'll move to the practical section, but I would like to just show you as much example as possible. Like somebody might be wondering, how does the environment for this Power App looks like? It's very easy. The first thing first is just going to this website, makepowerapps.com. So Microsoft actually made everything as simple as possible. Imagine I want to make a Power App now. The website is even already telling me make.powerapps.com. Very simple. That's the starting point. That's where we are going to start today. So that's why I kept this here so that we can have an overview of what it looks like. So you can see from this screenshot, it said, let's build an app. But now, what should the app do? This is you talking to artificial intelligence, trying to describe what you want your application to do. See the prompt. This is where the prompt you learned in the last class. This is where it should come in handy. See the prompt that was used here. It said, use everyday words to describe what your app should look like. So on this prompt, I can write, I want my application to take record for staff sign-ins. Just the same way we said when we were doing the opinion poll, like, okay, we want, if somebody wanted an application that can do inventory, then what should be prompt look like? The prompt should be related to inventory. If somebody probably wants an app to what other thing can we talk about? Like different things you want to talk about. So we have three ways we can start. I will talk about it more, but I just want to show you. Now, I was able to do something. I left a link on this slide where if you want to go through the learning part, because Microsoft did the learning part where you have the hands-on training for this power, because they are trying to make sure as many people as possible jump on this new trend. So, and then there are some other learning platforms that I would recommend, like YouTube has enough resources that can actually take you through so much that you want to know. Subsequently, I will drop some other slides or some other points where we can get more resources. So what do we do if we want to just start now? The first thing first is we are connecting our data. That's the Excel or the SharePoint, as the case may be. That's the foundation of what we are doing today. So we are uploading to Dataverse, but for today we might not need to upload Dataverse. Once the item is in our OneDrive or on our SharePoint site, it's okay for what we are doing today. So you can see when they said upload to Dataverse, it said transform your Excel data into secure cloud base. So what they basically want is just to make sure the document or the file is in a place where the application can connect to it, can update, can delete a record, can create a new record. And then that's why I make sure I added this second part that you can connect to external Excel. But the reason why I don't want people doing this external Excel is because you cannot update this one in real time if it is not on your OneDrive. So the synchronization it's always automatic when it's on the cloud. So, and there's another tip that I always try and make sure I tell people, always remember to format your Excel data as a table. I was in the class when Mr. Juwon was teaching this formatting your Excel into a table. It's just pressing your Control plus T, Control T. It will format your data into a table. So we must always make sure before we do anything, format your data into a table. Very important. So what I did now is just as a refresher, this is how to format your data into a table. You can see the data here is region. We have the east, west, south, and north. They are in a different column already. Another column is showing January, February, March, the different months. Now, these are the fields we want to format to a table. So it's just you pressing Ctrl T on your keyboard, and then it will create the table. It will even ask you where is the data from your table. As we can see here, A1, that's this A1, the region, to D5, that's D is March, and then the row is 5. So this is the parts in the green segments. That's what it's turning into a table. Remember, before turning to a table, you have to check this part, my table as header, so that it will treat this region January, February, March as the header for your table. If you didn't do that, it will just make this region together as this east, west, south, north. So always make sure your table has headers. So, and then what I did here is to give you an idea of what the Power Application, what it can do. Remember when I was telling you about Power Apps in a few slides back, I talked about model driven and the Canva application. Even looking at this diagram, you can see the Canva, you can see the custom page, you can see the user interface, what it has on this side, and you can see the model driven on this side. That's for big organizations using Dataverse and all that. I just left this for you to have an idea of what Power Apps. The lists are endless. It can work with AI Builder, it can work with Excel, it can work with different connectors. You can create different type and different structures of application. The next slide is an application I designed, so just for you to have an idea. So this is a Contoso coffee machine. So basically, it's a sample data by Microsoft. That was one of the first application I designed. So they listed the different type of coffee machine already, and then they created so many records for it. So it is sample data. From this, you can see barista lights. If you pick it, it will tell you the machine ID. It will tell you the price. Imagine if somebody is selling an item and they created different items for whatever they are doing. So from here, you can see the picture of what you are doing. If somebody wants, probably you sold 2 barista lights, automatically you just come into your Power App, update it. It will go into your Excel file and update the number of items that you have. Then from here, you can use your Microsoft Power BI to get an insight about your item. As we can see now, see this budget tracker. You can see the pie chart is telling us the miscellaneous, telling us the entertainment. From just an item clicked, you have an overview of. And if it's an application that is probably a mobile application, this is the same way to display on your. So you can see these are 3 different applications. You can see the way this one is displayed because it's on a computer. See this one because this one is displayed on a tablet, and you can see the third one because it was displayed on the phone. You can see the interface is a bit different from each other. Now, beyond the blank canvas, there is something I want us to leverage on, which is Copilot. Just the same way we were taught in the previous class about AI automation. In fact, ChatGPT, or let's say Copilots, they've made things so easy these days that apart from having template, because these Power Apps, when we enter the practical side, I will show you the different templates. There are hundreds of templates. There are templates built by Microsoft. There are templates built by some organizations they just drop their own as a template. A whole lot of templates. So it's easy for someone just to pick a template and just edit, change the name, change the item. it takes a lot of time too, because at the end of the day, you are trying to change so many things different from what the original user did. But now you can use AI to generate your own application. So that's why it says Copilot generated application use Microsoft Data Fast, which incur additional cost. That's beyond the free Power Apps license. That's just a note. But now you can describe your application in natural language, just like I showed us some few slides ago. And now, how do we build this Power application? So I just kept this slide to show us the 4 steps involved. The first, if you remember, I told us make power.com. That's the website that Microsoft created for the Power application. So this one, you have to sign in with your Microsoft account. This is where people always get it wrong. You cannot use a Gmail account to sign in or to sign up for this Power application. So in most cases for trainings like this is where this kind of training, it's always for the long term. You can remember each one of you have an email with Softclue Global already. So that's the kind of Microsoft account email that can use to sign in into this account. For anyone that does not have a Softclue Microsoft account, cannot build a Power application except if you go and get your own Microsoft Power application license. And then the next thing is create a simple application from an Excel file, which we already have, like what we are going to do today. So it's advisable to start small, learn by doing, sometimes it takes trial and error. You do over and over again before you get used to it. And then the third step is to explore. There are several sample files, as I said earlier. So if you play with different sample files, it's to spark this creativity, and then you can understand the different environments, the different things you can do on the Power application. So today, what I'll do is to show us as many scenarios as possible. We'll do one as an amateur, we'll try and do one as a professional, we just so that you know that the list is endless, the possibilities are endless. And then the fourth item here is build. Just start creating solutions, but make sure these solutions are solving a real life problem in probably your work or your business. Just think about something. Okay, for your business, what kind of Power application can you build? That's why I was impressed today when majority of people went for the staff signing. That's a very good way. Probably there's a tab in the front desk of your small business. It's just a small Power application that is on it. So once any staff come, they just put their name. Once they click submit, so now a staff cannot come, let's say 9:30, when probably the staff was supposed to resume 9 a.m. Once you write your name and you click sign in, it will capture the time that you click on that submit. That's what to put in the Excel sheet. So nobody can go and edit or go and change the time. So this kind of application has solved that kind of, because I can still remember some people still manually do sign-ins these days. Now with an application on the tab, or probably each person, we have an item on their, they can have the application on their own tab on their own phone. So once they get to work, they just click on the application, and then it will sign them in. So that's that about that. What is this Power App? It's our gateway to digital transformation. As I said earlier, if you are looking into changing career, if you are looking into building your small business, if you are thinking of helping a council, like so many scenarios, this is a good place to start. You can build powerful solutions without deep coding knowledge. You can automate repetitive tasks. You can eliminate manual data entry. That's the first one that I like about this. No need to manually type anything anymore. And then you can turn your ideas into functional application that solve unique business challenge. My previous employer, the University of Hertfordshire, there were so many applications I built for them. There was one to sign in for staff. There was one to send reminder to people in case they forgot to log out. There was some in case of emergency. So the app will nudge you to type if you're working, if you are not working. There was one we did, it's a lone working application. So if anyone is working anywhere alone, automatically the app has the record of everybody in the university. So it knows you are in the office and you are working alone. So the app will just, it's automated. It will just nudge you. Oh, you are working alone. Please be careful. In case of emergency, the app will automatically notify your manager, like anyone a step above you, that okay, this person is working in this office alone. So it's easy for them to just keep track, keep money from the app. The superior can even message you, oh, how are you? If you don't respond after 30 minutes, oh, they cannot put a call to that. Oh, I nudged you on the application, but you didn't respond. So, that's a solution on its own, and it has competitive advantage. And I want to show us how a Power Application page looks like. Or before then, how do we integrate this other item into our application? Like I said earlier, Power Apps cannot work alone. You have to connect data. You have to integrate something to it. So this next slide is just showing us a form that I did. I see the way I said vacation log. This is a demo actually. You will notice the first item is title, and then request submitted. It's a date. But what is the date for the request? You put it there, the number of days you want, the email of the person requesting for the leave. Mind you, once you fill this, it will go to the person that will just authorize. Before this solution, you know how staff request for leave. They will write to their manager. The manager will send the request to the HR. The HR will send back to the manager. Then the manager will now send the mail to the person that, oh, your leave has been approved. No. With this application, immediately you are requesting and the manager is seeing the request, it will bring out your calendar already. It's showing the day, it will even show if somebody else requested for that date, so they can know that, oh, the two of you cannot be on leave at the same time. Like, it's real time. Now they don't need to wait for HR or anything. The manager can approve your leave with the click of a button. As I said earlier, Power Apps is a powerful low or no code platform that lets you build custom application. Then SharePoint, we can call it SharePoint, or we can just say Excel and SharePoint, because for organizations like ours, we use SharePoint mostly. It's more robust than Excel, but for the sake of this class, we can just say Excel. So it's a platform where we can store data, just like the SharePoint. And the third item is the magic. That's what we are creating. The connection of the two together is the magic, to just capture the data, update the list, and then we can move up to the first step in setting up our Excel or SharePoint. As I said earlier, remember, there is no Power Apps without what we are connecting to it. So the Power Apps can only work when something, a source of data, is connected to it. So how do we set up this Excel or SharePoint list, whatever the case may be? So what I did there is just a screenshot of a SharePoint list that was connected to one data. Okay, I cut that part. You see the name, and then you can see the date of birth, which office they are in, and then their brand. This is just to show you an example of how a data might look like. We'll see some other data though. So first and foremost, we are going to the Excel file to create the item. Remember where we did the formatting, that's the type of data already, so we know that part. Then the second part is where you define the data column. Like, make sure your title, it's very important when working on things like this. Your titles, your column, everything should be well defined, so that even when somebody else is looking at it, okay, let's go back to this. Seeing DOB, I already know that it's date of birth. The office, that's to tell us the different offices where different people are working. Current brand, is it Honda, is it Mazda, is it Mercedes? So it's easy. So see the examples I put here now. Imagine we are working on the data now, and I see employee name, I see department, expense date, expense amount, status. I already know the appropriate data type For something like expense amount, in those column, I should see something having like the dollar sign or pound sign to show that it's currency. For something like status, I should see something like active, inactive. You understand? So looking at things, okay, for expense dates, imagine in your expense date column, you are seeing something like dollar sign. Even looking at the data, you know something is wrong because expense date should return a value with a date. Okay, the date the amount was spent. So, and then in most cases, there might be attachments like maybe a picture of a receipt or a document or an image. So we can always add an attachment to whatever we are building. So this is the first step in building our Power Apps, setting up your Excel or SharePoint list. So what should be our next step? How do we connect this? Remember the first step, we built the Excel SharePoint. Now, how do we connect this Excel to the Power App? The first thing is to open the Power App Studio, which we will do. We'll do every practical. Then add the data source. Then just connect your list. I will show us how to do this, but I just want, in case somebody wants to go over the slide so that they have an idea of what we talked about. This is how the Power App forms look like. Remember when I was showing you the different scenarios, different example? We have different column for different items. You can see this one now. This card is telling us description. In this field, whatever you are typing here will go into the Excel or the SharePoint, and the description of the item will be there. Assuming it's assigned to, this should be name of the person. So for whatever item you are dealing with inside there, this is to show you the different control we have inside our Power App. Remember, we are inserting our form control, we are linking the data source, then we can customize our layout. So this is just how to design our input form. I will show us soon. And then enabling the instant data submission. So apparently for every item you are doing, you have to like add the submit button so that once you are clicking on the app submit, it will take all the details of what you just did and go and put it in the form or the existing data that you have already. So I will explain all this, don't worry, but just in case you are going over this at home, just for you to have an idea of what we are doing, is the enabling instant data submission. And then once we are done with that, the first thing we are doing is testing our application. So in this part, what Microsoft did was to give us a preview button. So it's just like a play button. It's like you are playing your application. But when playing this application, you can see how the app will be probably on your phone, or if it's on a tab, it will just show us. Then you can test the field and you can go and verify your Excel or the SharePoint to see what has been done. Once you are done with that, the last step is just seeing your application, making sure it's functional. You can see what I did here is a screen. Once you click on this screen, okay, see the first item here is my expenses, and the first expense is the client hosted meet and greet, which is $3,200. I designed this application for a firm in United States. Once they click on this client host meet and greet, which is 3,200, now the next screen is taking them to is to now give them a breakdown of how how they came about this 3,200. It's easy for them. Let's say there is an error, they can delete this all transportation throughout the trip. Immediately they delete it, it will remove 400 from this 3,200, and then it will update this data to 2,800 once they click on the submit button. So it's very interactive, like one screen leads to another screen. So okay, now let's go to our Power application. Let's go and see all what we talked about. Let's see how what we talk about, how it works. So remember, if we want to make an application, what's the first thing they said? They said we should go to make dot powerapps.com. That is, we are doing this for the first time, so I want everybody to see. So clicking on make.power.com, this is what we open up. I think you should be familiar with this interface because we saw something like this in the slides when we were working on the slide. Remember when I was showing you the slide, I said there are different ways. There are different ways to kill a cow, different ways to do a project, different ways to start. Different individuals have different opportunity, different ways they do things. Now, this first one says, start with a design. Pick a layout or start from a blank to shape your application's user interface. And the second one simply said, start with data. Pick a source or create tables to power your application. And the third one just said, you don't even need to start your design. You don't need to start with the data. Just start with a plan. Remember, our plan is to create an application that works for staff signing in. Yeah, remember we did an opinion poll and that was what people selected. So for that one, we can just go with this where we describe our problem. Since it's training, I want everyone to have a feel of everything. So we'll go through all these different methods, if that's okay. So when you are in your Power Application interface, okay, so for someone that wants to start out, there are some resources that Microsoft actually did. You see, learning for every level. This is in everybody's interface. So you can just click on the beginner. In 51 minutes, it will show you from start to finish how to get started with Power Application. Probably if you want to manage and share different applications, this is another learning that you can go on. If you want to alter a basic formula to change properties in a Canva application, so there are a lot of them, actually it's a lot. So if you click on see all, see these are different trainings that you can go on. I remember when I was talking earlier, I mentioned something which is the Microsoft Learning Platform. So just click Microsoft.learn. Microsoft Learn. So this is the Microsoft Learn platform. In this platform, you can do many skills learning. You can learn on your own schedule. You can find your career path. You can do student learning. It's a whole lot. It's very rich, so many content. Just say, let's say for example, want to learn about Power App. I just come to the search bar and just say Power Apps. So this will open up different trainings for Power Application. I can see one. This is create a Canva app in Power Apps. This is a training. If you click on this, it will take us to a beginner level Microsoft certified training where we can learn how to create app from the beginning. It starts with an introductory video. Once we watch the video, see the first item, get started with Microsoft. It will show you the steps to take one after the other for the training. If there is any question, please just pop it in the chat section so I can read and then we can talk about it. Let's go back to our application interface. So our home is asking us, what do we want to do? But in most cases, the first thing you should do is, since we know we want to create an application, just come to this part that says create. From this create, you can see we have so many other options also, just as the first home page that we saw earlier. So we can come down, we can start with our data. If our data is already in the SharePoint, we can just click on the SharePoint. If it's in the Excel, just like our case, we can click Excel. All this will just connect your application instantly to your Power Application. And if you want to start with a blank canvas, like blank, we are not even starting with any application. I want to build from the beginning. Fine. So let's see what happens when we do this. I'm expecting questions in the comment section so that If there is something someone wants me to repeat or anything, we can. So this one, this is our first application that we are trying to build. If you look at this very well, what's the first thing you can see? It's called its application already, app, though it's still in the newest form. The first thing we have is a screen. So just like our phone, let's say we are on WhatsApp, if you want to message someone, you click on the person's name, then a new screen will open up where you type and then you can send. So this is the same way. So now let's say our app already, I know that our app will have, let's say, 3 screens. So I have my first screen, which was auto-generated. I can just go to this tab and say add a new screen. It will ask me, okay, this new screen that you want to add, what do you want the screen to do? Do you just want a blank screen, or do you want a screen that can be split screen? That would be 2 pages. Or do you want the one that has sidebar? The list is a lot. So it depends on what you want to make. So it is whatever you are trying to make that will determine what you are picking. But in this instance, let's say we want our screen to be like a welcome page. You understand? So now it's adding a screen already to our application. And you can see this is how you know that all these tools are very intelligent. You notice the welcome screen, it even has the name as welcome screen already. It has some featured item. So if I like, I can come and change the image on this item to probably, let's say we want to build an app for like the self signing. Okay, that might not need a welcome screen anyway. But let's say if the app we are building, it's an app with pictures. Let's say it's an organization. We want anybody coming to this application for them to first see our welcome page. Or let's say it's a company that has 6 employees. Now we want all of them to have different tab. So if, okay, my name is Martins, there is a tab. Let's say I'm the second person. That means my picture will be on this. It's just me editing, replacing this circle with my picture. And then this feature item, this way I'll just write details about myself. Okay, let's say CEO Pinnacle. That's my description, yeah? What do we see there already? CEO Pinnacle. Let's just visualize that. Okay, I've already changed this image to my image. Let's say this other person is, what's his name? So this is the CEO of Softclue. So his name is Chuwon Omotoba. So he's the CEO Softclue. Okay. Do we notice any changes? Oh, we have not changed Mr. Martin's name. Sorry about that. So my own name is Martins. So I'll pick randomly uh some other people to populate their own name too. So I can see Anne, and then Anne is the, let's say, Anne is the prime minister. Prime minister. So for everything I'm doing, you can notice the intuitive change. And let's try and make it as suitable as possible. So this our welcome screen. The title here is screen 2. No. So in case we want to work, it will be easy for us. Let's rename it to welcome screen. So that on this tab, when we are looking at it, we know that the welcome screen should be the one up. So it's just me clicking on it and just dragging it up. So once we open this application, it's the welcome screen that comes first before this blank screen that we don't even know what we are doing with yet. So now we have our welcome screen here. At least it's okay like this. Don't even let us come to call it welcome screen here. Let's change this one to welcome to Erewash. Yes, Erewash Borough. Oh, Borough as you council. Okay. Can you see? So this one, let's change this logo. Let's look for something. We can just use stock images, just for example. Yes, this represents a council. At least we can see people. What you will see what will change now. Can you see the logo here has changed? This is for you to understand how the different things we are doing can just change. See, remember when we first picked this sample, it was a different item entirely. Imagine if we are really building this application. By now, we have the picture of Mr. Juwon here. We have the picture of Martins here. We have the picture of Anne here already. You understand? So imagine if we are 6. If we are 12 in this organization, it's just for us to duplicate all these 6 and make it 12. Everything will fit into this page. Let's just assume that, okay, oh no, before that, let's actually add a button to this screen. So if you want to add a button, what do we do? You can see this insert. It means there are different items we can insert. But on this occasion, we want a button that, okay, let's put the button first. Immediately I click the button. Did you notice something? This is the button. Okay, I can come here and look for the button. Because any item that I have, this is the button. The button is hidden. Okay, let me remove it. Let me get another button. Okay, the button is not, the button should be on the, yes. Can you see the button? Because it's blue, so we can change. So let's say this button is let's say it's a back button that will just take us back. So let's first change the name of the button to back. And you can see as we are changing the name, immediately the button, the name is changing here. But now that we call this button back, what is this button doing? We are the one that will now say this button should, you can just come here, this button should just navigate. So where should it navigate to? Remember, we have a screen already that we met here. The name of the screen is screen 1. I will show you, don't worry. I'm just doing this so that we can do something practical. From here, I can even see the screen. Yeah, can you see the screen? When we came, the first screen that was created for us, we've not done anything to the screen. But just because of what we want to do, on this screen, let's add a button called, let's say, let's add a button. So the button should be, what should we call this button? Let's call this button home. So that we'll see what this button will do. Why is this button not showing? Okay, we have to change the color. Okay, can you see the button now? The button is called home. So what should this button do? This button should just probably just take us back to that first screen. What's the name of our first screen? Can you remember? Welcome screen. Can we remember? I'm not okay. I've seen the chart. Let's read the chart. If it's joining and learning about discovery, what step will you advise the person to take to become certified? Oh, okay. Someone just sent a message in the chats that if just joining and learning about this course. As I said earlier, remember I showed different places where we can learn. Microsoft has their own platform where you can just go and learn. It's explanatory. They will teach you what all the buttons will do. They will teach you how to upload your file. See this, create your first application in Power Apps. They will teach you how to get the data. They have their own sample data, like see this machine order data. It's a coffee data where you can use to learn. Then you can take like this one. Once you are done with this module, you get a certificate for this. Though the certificate, some of them ranges from like £58 to £60 just to get certified. But once you have the certification, that's it. You can start applying to job. Then you can go on the Softclue learning platform too. Soon we'll create a course for that where people can learn extensively. So this class is just an introduction into what Power Apps can do, you understand? But if it's an extensive class, it's not just one day that we are building an application and all that, you understand? So going back to our application, let's just preview this application now. So let's visualize it that this application has been deployed. It's ready now, and we want this application on our mobile. So for you to know how intuitive and interactive this thing is, you can choose the type of phone you want to use. Let's say it's an iPhone 14 Pro Max. This is how, remember we were the one that made this application. Yeah, we made it together, innit? So you can see, let's assume when we were building this application, we put the picture. This is how you would have seen the picture of the person. You say, no, it's not Juwan I want to contact. You can see Martins, you can see Anne. Let's say we've added the other people. This is how intuitive the application is. You can do a lot. Okay, you can see it's bringing my name. This is the logo that we used. This is how if this application is deployed on a tab and you want to see how it will look like on a tab, what you just need to do is just click on tablet and then you can just say iPad. So this is how the application will be on an iPad. You can see that in real life, you can see what we are doing. So now let's say I'm done with, probably I wanted to just contact Juwan or do something. I'm done and I want to go back to that second screen that we have. Remember on the second screen, we dropped a button that is called Home. So this button, I think everyone remember when we dropped this button that we renamed back. This button should take us back to that page. Let's just click together and see what happens. Can you see? So let's say we fill this button with the items. Okay, let's say the staff signing that we wanted to do initially. We fill this item with it already. Or let's say this one is for collecting input in a form. Once we are done, we can name the button probably submit or exit. It's just anything to make it interactive. Once we click this home button now, I expect this to take us back to the home page where we have Anne, we have Juwon, we have everybody. So let's press. You can see what I'm saying. So this is for you to see. Do you know we've not written any code today, and we have something so interactive? Let's say we want an app that has 3 pages or 3 screens. You know, this one is the welcome screen and screen 1. Let's say we want an additional screen. What do you think this screen should do? Or let's even just do a blank screen. But this screen now, let's bring in our data. Let's bring in a screen with data. So we don't have data in this environment. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so let's go and add. Okay, so let's go and build a new application where we are building from our data now, so that you have. Okay, should we save this first? Okay, let's just save this. So for you to know how intuitive, how interactive it is. So let's look for an Excel file that we can just open. So that once we open the Excel file, we'll see if it will bring in the data. I think one of the files I have here should have been the files you used probably when you were learning Excel. Let's see. So let's go home. Okay, the one that said, yes, connect to your Excel workbook. You understand? This is the beginning. This is the home page. So let's just say we want to build an app that will connect. You can see it's fresh. I've not done anything here before. So we can go and just look for the files together. Do we have any file on this part? Let's search. Just any Excel file is fine. Any Excel file we can find. Okay. Yes, I've seen some. Yeah, this practice workbook. That's fine. I think this should do. Is this usable? Okay, yes, this should be usable. So once I click on the Excel file, what's the first thing we notice? It's saying create app. Okay, create app. Now it's automatically creating the application for us without writing any code. But remember, the app it will create will be probably mumbled together, but we'll find a way to deal with it. Yes. So it's telling us that it has created the application. If you want to see the preview, but we can skip it. I think this looks decent already. So the Excel file I inputted, we can see the items that it has. Okay, it has the name of the street, that's the address, this is the email and the name. So that's how all the files are on this. But now the first thing we should do is probably let's rearrange it. Instead of the address as the first item, why not the name as the first item? What do you think? So you can see this application that this thing created for us has only one main screen. That's the service request screen. Now let's do something. So so I want us to do it in a way that this James Street should be the one that is so it shouldn't be the one. The address should not be the first item. So we can make James the first item if we want. It's whatever we want that we can do in this part. So we just need to look. So the items are grouped into different containers. We can see the table name container. We can see the screen container. We can see the main screen, every item. So for whatever thing you click on here, it will show you the properties, the confirmation, the record separation, the search container. So anything we click on, it will show us. So this is the table name container. This is the screen container. I'm looking for the container that has these names. Yes. So this is the container. Now I can see the layout and everything. The body one is the first name and the title one is the address. I want the title one to be the first name and I want the body one to be the address. Did it change? Did we notice anything change? I'm not getting responses. Now you can see, okay, let's just play this and see how it will look in the application. So we've played the item now. If it's a tab, let's say iPad, this is how it will look on the tab. So me just clicking on this item, I can see the date the item is submitted. I can see, let's say it's Sarah, I want to check. I can just click on Sarah and I can see Sarah's item. At least Sarah's address is different from David's address. Imagine now I might want to edit something here. I just click on edit. Let's say, okay, the first name is no more David or the phone number changed. I can change the phone number. I have everybody, like you can see the way it's interactive. So that's basically how to build Power App. So it depends on what you want your Power Apps to do. Let me show you an example. One hours. This for, I think there was one app that oh, just a minute. Okay. Do we have any apps? Is it one? I want something that where we can go from one page to another page. I think we've seen that already. But this is just how we can build Power Application for our businesses, for anything we want to do. Okay, skip. Okay, yeah, we've seen this already. Okay. Okay, this is just the same as the first one. We can add an extra screen. Okay, this one has an extra feed already. We can add a new screen to this. Let's say blank screen. If we save with data, okay, we don't have data in this environment. But remember how we did this in the previous one. Okay, don't save. So we can edit, we can change. Yes, in the beginning, I talked about using different ways. So remember, this one we did was just blank, and we did another one with data. Let's say we want the one with artificial intelligence. Okay. So where we just explain what we want for the AI, and then it will build for us. Okay. So these are the different designs that are available. Let's pick one. You see this one has different layers. So it's easy to just pick one or pick another layer that you want. It's customizable. You can do anything. So escape. Now this one has two containers and an header. Our header, now we can put our organization logo or bar. On this container, we can put maybe the list of people, just the same way we have list of different people on this Teams meeting right now. So different people. For anybody's name, I click on this panel, show their detail on this main container. So that's the first thing. So let's call this screen, instead of screen one that they wrote here, let's change the name to display. Now we need a new screen. Let's just add a new screen. So which is the blank screen. Let's call this screen 2 as it is. We need a new screen, which is the welcome screen, just the same way we did the first time. Remember, our welcome screen should always be in the beginning. You can see the way I would click on this and just drag to the top of my tree view. Remember to always rename your screen. So you call it welcome. You just double click on it and just change the name to welcome screen. Remember the way we changed the name and everything the other time. So okay, let's, for some people that are not, just let's do the picture. Let's see the one that is picture of someone. Okay, yes. So we can say this is let me pick somebody's name. Okay, this is Aerosmith. Okay, let's remember we come here to change the name. Aerosmith. Okay, so Aerosmith is okay. So what do we change? Aerosmith is our investment and banker. Our investment banker. I want this one to be as interactive as possible. So we have this one. This one should be Carl. Okay. So let's look for an image first. Just stock image, just something to look interactive. Okay. So the name. So we are coming to the test just to change the name to Carl. Carl is our CEO for this training. CEO. Okay. So we come here, we have with the third person. Okay, I've seen an image here. Okay. 1 minute. Okay, so we have this. So for a more detailed training, I would advise us to enroll in Softclue LMS. We'll drop the link so you can register. And then once we have your data, it's easy to just contact you if you want to start any class. This is just introductory, just for you to know that. Today, you know we've not written any code. So this should be Anne. Anne is our COO. And is our CEO or Chief Operating Officer. Can you see how interactive it is? So I would like to populate this other one so that it will look, because I think the previous one was not looking so tush enough. So I want this to look as realistic as possible. We've not used this image before. So this image is, I have Olasunkanmi here. So that's Olasunkanmi is our IT expert. So now we have Olasunkanmi. So what's the role? That's our IT expert. So if it's okay enough for us, I can stop. Remember, for whatever we are doing now, this screen is just this way. But if you're on this screen, how do you go back to the previous screen? So for everything you do, always remember to add or insert a button. So button is the easiest to do what you want to do. So with this button now, I just call this button, let's call it home. So remember, always change the name. So if you call this button home, but what does this button do? So this button should just take us to, what's the name of our second screen? Our second screen is called display. Do we remember? So this home button should take us to where? Display. So we just come here and just say navigate. Like I'm just like your nap is navigating somewhere. Say navigate. It's saying to where? Then I will say to display. Display. Let's see what this will do. Just this that we just did. You just see. Yeah, replace. Yeah. So it's saving. When it's done saving, let's just see what this looks like on a phone. What does this look like on a tab? What does this look like on, okay, so yes, you can see how this is how the app looks like when deployed on a computer. But if it's on a phone, how will it look like? This is how it will look like. So you can scroll down to see the different people. Assuming each item we edited them. If I click on Anne, it should just take us to a new page where we have details of Anne, like the phone number, the mail address. There should be a small button where you can just contact Anne. Very, very interactive. Let's say this application is an application that we use in our organization just to contact people instead of this other messaging app. This is customized for whatever business we are doing. I can just click on Anne and then it will take me to Anne's detail. I can just click on message. Then on the app, Anne can see the message. It's very, very interactive. So let's see how this application will look like on an iPad. This is how the application will look like on an iPad. You can see this is very intuitive because once you click deploy, this is the same way this app will be on the phone. So from this app now, we have the button, the home button. If I click on the home button, it should take us to that display screen that we talked about in the beginning. So this is the display screen. It's because we've not inputted anything. So on this display screen, this left segment, we can have the list of items. Then this bigger screen will display the name, the records of the item. We can use this top segment to be like a banner for the organization. And remember, we are supposed to drop another button on this screen that probably take us back to the welcome screen, or we have another button that will say next. You remember it was 3 screens, so it's whatever you want to do. Today's class is not extensive enough for us to build a full functional app that can go and create record, using our Excel file that we have already to create record. You can update the record, you can delete record. So anything you are supposed to do manually inside your Excel, now you are doing it inside your application. So there is no need to repeat any task. This cuts off repetition. Is there any other question? Let's see. Where's our slide? Okay. So now at least we build an application. We see how the application capture user inputs, how you can store into the Excel. So the next step is exploring advanced feature because we have to do conditional logic. The next app we are building now, you must be able to authenticate the app. That's one of our data governance because we have data governance class also. Softclue LMS will be so robust to a level that any digital skills you want to learn, you will find it there. If you want to learn the basics of Excel in full details, we'll create a course that will do that. If your interest is on Power Application, we'll do extensive class where we can do this logic, the user authentication. You can build your app for email notification. So instead of your email coming in your Gmail now, so far it's pertaining to your business, the email notification will come through the application. Then we'll connect our application to Power Automate integration, where there are sometimes you'll be sleeping and probably Amazon will send you a message. It's not as if somebody went there to type your name and say send a message. It was automated. Say 8 o'clock Monday morning, send a message to all our clients to tell them about a new product. You don't need to type anything. You don't need to do anything. By 8 o'clock Monday morning, the Power Automate will start at exactly 8 o'clock and send the different messages customized already. Then the next training to after this will be about empowering your workflow, what I just talked about now. If there's an expense reporting that you do, if there's customer feedback, if there's inventory tracking, anything you do, we'll be able to automate it. And if you have a business already, but you don't have the time to do all this building an application, just reach out to Softclue. We can build the app from scratch for you. We deliver the app to you. We do testing so that you know. But for every small business, anyone that does any task where you repeat something over and over, the era for repetition is over. There are tools that can do that for you with just single click, few clicks here and there, So, and as I said, the real world app scenarios, the lists are endless. It's just the ones that came to my head. You know, admin or office work, if it's care service. By now, anyone probably owning a care home should not be manually putting details of people down. There should be a power app where you just open the app, click on new patient. Automatically, it will ask you first name, second name, the details. Once you click save, it will create an Excel record for them already with the other. So it's someone having a retail business or a council work, anything related to customer service. So, and it's very secured, it's very practical. You can build your app in an hour, a full functional app that will checklist, or an app for visitors log. The list, as I said, is so endless. I have another appointment by 2:30, so I won't be able to go beyond this. If there's any question, I'm ready to listen to, so that we can interact and round up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's class. This is just an introduction, by the way, for you to know that you can build an app in minutes. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Softclue, Erewash, Borough Council, for this training.
Uh, Thank you so much, Martins. We really appreciate your tutorial today. You have actually, given us the best to give us heads up regarding Power Apps and Power Platform in general. We've been able to see how apps can be built without having to consult software engineers or without breaking a bank. So right now, what I would just advise is for those who really want to further in this, it's a very simple thing to do to enroll on Softclue LMS. The learning management system would enable you to learn bit by bit in a way that it's easy for you to assimilate what the whole process is. And for the tools you require, because many of us might not actually be able to replicate what our tutor is doing based on the fact that it's an enterprise application. It's an enterprise platform where it's building. So if you do not have an Office 365 account, you might not be able to practicalize whatever he has done. And so sorry about that. It's not actually meant for uh, consumers. It's for enterprise use. So, but if you join the Softclue LMS platform, probably if you subscribe to our trainings, we would provide you the necessary tools and credentials to have licenses to do all these things. Microsoft have made the platform already, but it's not for free. That's the truth. So they sell it for organizations who give it to their developers to use. But if you are enrolled with Softclue LMS, we would give you licenses to practicalize yours too. All right. So this comes to the end of the session. And if you have further questions, you can always reach out to us by sending us emails, by giving us feedbacks, and we would take every feedback seriously, just like we have always been doing. All right. So it's almost 2:30 by our time. We apologize for taking beyond the actual 1 hour, but it's because it's actually an interesting class. And so I was actually enjoying how Mr. Martins was giving it to us back to back. I really had to contact him privately that he shouldn't extend it beyond now because he had a lot to dish out. I totally understand. But we had to draw the curtain to ensure that we stay within the stipulated length of time for the session. All right. So thank you so much, and I really appreciate you joining us today. It's been amazing journey on the data literacy program, and I wish us a very restful weekend. Goodbye.
Goodbye.